Hi, all chess goodies, and welcome to day 27 of my journey to top 100 in the world. It's been really tough so far. I even dropped below 2200, which is a thing that I did not expect to happen, but it did. But it doesn't mean that I'll give up. Definitely not. I'm sure I can get back up and also eventually to that top 100. And I still think that it will happen by the end of this year. I know that it sounds like quite a lot of time, but I'm sure it will pass quite quickly. So, okay, we got this Sicilian. I'll just build this castle, and we should be ready to attack. Okay, so maybe not so fast because h5, but I'll just play h3 if h5 g4, and I'm pretty fine. Can I play f5 though? Definitely can. I see no problem with that. So let's go for that. Back in the knight, if pawn takes, and I'm pretty happy. So yeah, pawns on, trade it off. Knight comes to e5 immediately. Now it is like, do I want to take? Okay, I think I'll capture and then like bishop f4. Yeah, let's do that. That doesn't seem terrible. So now the knight is hanging, obviously, so d6 is expectable. And after d6, I can maybe take, and there's already the f file opened up, so that would be great. So that's maybe why bishop d6 was played instead. So what to do now? I feel like I'll just drop this knight back, maybe c3 d4. That could be nice. So yeah, I can take, but then d takes, and yeah, that could be that pressure, but don't know how big that would be. So I'll leave tension here. And yeah, c3 d4 is my main plan now. What do I want to do? If h4, I want to play g4 like pretty much always. I just have to watch out for knight takes, g4 ideas like this sacrifice, but at the moment there's nothing there, so it would be fine. Bishop drops back to c7, so now this pawn becomes a bit weak, but it should not be a big of a thing for him. Yeah, let's just play c3 and prepare d4. Continue with that plan. I'm interested if black will continue with the attack on the king side, or if he'll castle king side. Both seem a bit risky to do. Like, where do you put the king when you are black? It's a question, because on the queen side you've already pushed pawns, but it might be quite safe with these bishops. But a4 also nice undermining move though. Just noticed. Yeah, a4 seems like a really nice move to make. if it comes down to it. But yeah, I still think that d4 is the main idea here. I want to push in the center while the king is in the center. Because if h4 doesn't work, then my king is just safer than my opponent's. So yeah, that's my thing. Maybe bishop or maybe even queen somehow if the bishop moves could come to this diagonal, but then I can just move the king away and be safe. True is that there is this slight tension here. If maybe ef, bishops can come off the board. So yeah, my king would be weakened, but still, there is nothing concrete on that diagonal immediately. And the e file would just open up, which in that position might favor me, even though if takes in castles, I don't have the open a file, so it might be pretty fine. But if ef, I can just take on e5. That's also an option, so bishop would have to take, and then I can take there with the rook. Would give up the bishop pair, but okay. h4 after a long thing. Does that plan a sacrifice? Is there a sacrifice planned or involved in this? I hope not, and I don't think so. Yeah, let's just play pawn to g4. I don't see anything there. Maybe there is. I wonder if there is. Because my opponent was thinking for about 2.5 minutes, which is quite a lot of time. Okay, here ef comes. So I can go for this, where I would attack the bishop, but I would lose the bishop pair. I'm not really sure if I want to do that, if not necessary, but might be a nice thing. If I take with the e pawn, then this exchange comes. And if I take with the g pawn, then it feels a bit wrong. So I actually feel like I might want to do that. I honestly feel like it's quite nice. I'll get knight f4 then, and might win the bishop pair back. Or just get very active with the knight. But gotta watch out for g3. That is a really weak square, but for the moment knight guards that. Now maybe bishop or queen lining up with the bishop and defending it at the same time is an idea. But yeah, I'll wanna use the f file to attack the f7 pawn. f6 can be played to block that, but it would weaken this light square maybe, I'm not sure, but still, you gotta decide where to put the king. d4 still not out of the question. Even though in this position, it feels like it might be opening out the position a bit too much, but it depends how safe will the blocking be. And also like queen f1 to put immediate pressure there is an option. Yeah, it is. And then queen f somewhere, but yeah, just doubling up with the rooks would feel more natural. d4 obvious square for the knight. Wow, there might be insane ideas of d4 takes and then e5 after bishop goes back, takes, trade happens. Oh wow, this feels too insane. So takes queen b6, king h1, and still well defended. I don't think there's anything there. Let's push that. Okay, g6 immediate response. I think it is possible. Then when I give up the exchange, like so, probably not. So let's just drop back to f2. And bishop drops. So now I can block off with d5, but it would make e4 weak. And also I want to put the knight there instead. That would be just better. So I'll go in with activating the queen. Queen b6 still possible to put pressure on that diagonal. That is probably the square you want to put the queen on as black. But rook f1 is coming and I'll use the f-file as I was saying for that attack. And knight f4 at the right time. Yeah, this is a position that can go either way and also it can end in a draw. Still a nice middle game where there is that imbalance with the fact that I don't have the bishop pair. But I have that nice f-file to attack along. Queenside castle will happen. I can sense it. I can tell it. I know that it will happen. It won't happen only if I take on c5. But I don't think that that's really good. Although I can play a4 immediately. Yeah, that's a thing I'm gonna do. This pawn still well defended. And a4, that big through, as I was saying, can come, and now it comes handy. I kind of want to scare my opponent of castling queenside with this move. And also it's a nice bake too. You know, I'm attacking pawn basically right now. And if pawn takes, I don't even have to recapture with the rook. The pawns on the a5 will always be pretty weak. c4 to chase away the queen. Okay, I get it. I get it. But now the center is stronger. That's what I meant to say. And okay, so queen here, maybe some f5s or like the queen would be on the diagonal. On f3 it would be attacking, but at the same time pinned by the bishop. So queen c2 feels like the safest option. So okay, let's do that. I can always maneuver the queen back. In that case, rook f1 will happen. And then knight f4 still in the air. Now this bishop is much weaker there. Okay, pressure on e3. Clear idea there. Definitely. Wonder if I can play knight f4 here. It would be really nice. Okay, let's think about this just for a little while. With the king, knight f4, does that work? It would be really nice if it would. Blocking off. Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. The truth is that there might be safer moves to make than knight to f4. because still if the knight moves, there is still that bishop e3. Okay, so my opponent just castles. Short. So okay, queen e2. Is that a thing? I should also move just to put pressure. Okay, let's play rook f1. I had bigger time advantage already. And in this position, it feels like I gotta use it. Okay, so another pressure on the e pawn, but to the e pawn. That is true. So rook e2 should be fine. Just defending, but yeah, I want the center to be strong, not a weakness. Yeah, D pawn is really nice. E pawn is the problem here. I have 5 ideas, but that would seem a bit crazy. Okay, there comes the trade. So now I have nice defense of that pawn. G5, I don't know. Okay, G5 comes. In that case, yeah, I'll just play rook f5. It even attacks the pawn. Can I take it? Can I just take the pawn? Maybe I can. Maybe I can just take a pawn if it's offered. Like this. Bishop drops back. Okay, that is possible. But there the bishop doesn't feel right. It doesn't. So I guess now I can... Or I will just drop the rook back. Again, okay, and there comes the recapture. But right now, e5, does that work? It's gonna have to, right? I'm opening up this bishop, the queen, all of the lines. This is a pretty crazy move to a time scramble. Okay, DE. Okay, let's just take. Queen check, okay, fine. Let's just go here. And pawn surpasses. Okay, I'll just take that. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Rook takes e5, okay. I think I'll just take. And then what? Can I do this? Okay, I'm dropping to around equal time. It feels important. Okay, well, let's push f6. It's time. It's time for it. And then what? Maybe here? Put pressure on the bishop. Now I can take. Let's give check. Another check. Oh wow. Yeah, this gotta work. I'll probably claim a draw here. If there would be a perpetual, I would go for it. If bishop g4, I think there is. I think there is one. It's gotta be there, right? Wait, hold on. Maybe even checkmate. No, it's not there, right? Check like this. Shouldn't have allowed that. I'm gonna lose this on time. For sure. Or am I? Giving checks is easier. Oh wow! This checkmate. Oh come on. Oh come on. That is so unfortunate for my opponent, but like, oh my goodness. Whole game I was up on the clock and then this end. I mean, I thought, yeah, it was a draw in this position for sure. Actually, it's even winning, but yeah, it's a draw. After this, yeah, this is a draw. But then I wanted to force the king to, or then I wanted to force a checkmate like this, where I would have the queen on h7, or that the bishop could come to e4 with check. Those were two ideas. That's went to go to the corner, and then this crazy sequence that ended up being checkmate just in time. Wow. Okay, that's a crazy but nice start. Actually, I had like again losing streak of 5 games before this game. So once again, a winning game. Okay, I can start with d4 again. And another Sicilian, okay. Previous one was successful, so let's see how this one will go. D3 or f4, I think it doesn't matter. Just go for this line. I think that this is actually even the main line, if I'm not mistaken, and then e5. Okay, d5. So here I can play pawn to g4, I think. Maybe h3 first. No, let's play pawn to g4, but f6. f6 is an idea here, I would say. But okay, it's not played. I'll drop the knight back to e2, and only then the players a lot of times play d4. But actually, I don't mind losing these tempes to get the knight to e4 because it's just an awesome square for the knight. And while d5 looks also pretty nice for black, most of the time is not as good as e4 for white. f6 or f5 always possible. So I wonder if g5 is the right idea here. If f6 I would have to take, and I think that I will play g5 even though I'll give away the f5 square. Yeah, let's play it. Okay, the knight comes in. That was expected. And now, okay, now c3 to prevent knights from jumping to d4. And then queen e1, knight g3. And the goal now is to get the knight to g4 or e4 from where the knights could jump closer to black's king. Okay, b5 was played. Do I want to play a4 again? Like that idea? Do I want to do that? Or c4? That's interesting as well. It is. But okay, let's play pawn to a4 now. Okay, knight. Oh, no. The bishop comes to b7. And then, so if I take, I would be obligated to trade, most likely. I'll just keep the tension there. And then here, I feel like I might even just play knight g3 immediately and recapture with the h-pawn, I don't care. I don't care, okay. Knight draws back to defend. Reasonable. Reasonable it is. I think I'll just leave the pieces there as they are. And now queen e2. And as always, if ba4, I think that in most of the positions are not even like forced to recapture immediately. Okay, queen e2. And now what? I want to play c4. I do. Is that fine? It's gotta have to be, because I'm playing it. Because I'm playing it. The queen is defending the pawn, and then the c5 pawn would be a bit weaker, but d4 is now a square, and d5 potential as well for black, so that was the trade-off I had to make in that decision for playing c4. Now, okay, so yep. Now, okay, now comes the trade first. Okay, I'm gonna recapture, the other knight will come to f5, okay. And now this pawn is hanging. So I'm gonna defend with the king. Yeah, let's do that. This bishop is quite a problem. The black's bishop is not really nice as well. But at least it's placed somewhat nicely and not really blocking anything. Okay, bishop takes f3. It's relying on knight d4. I'm gonna take back with the queen. Am I? Yes, I am. Now I wonder if I should go for this and just make that trade happen. It would be quite a decision and not easy to make. Do I think that the T-Rex will overpower the queen in the end? Yeah, I think so. Let's play it. This will be a fun game. Okay, b4. This makes sense, trying to blockade. And I cannot develop with bishop e3 right now because of this, which annoys me quite a lot. But I'll drop the bishop right back to e4. b3 also would be a move I would like to play. h6, trying to break through the structure. Okay, I'm gonna capture. And now bishop e3 should be possible. Right or wrong? Right, for sure. And man, this just hangs the knight. That's why I dropped the bishop back to e4. And now I got the bishop got the bishop and the rook for the queen. That really should be too much. If I play b3, I'll be just super solid. Yeah, let's play that. Now there is no way to infiltrate. Okay, claiming this diagonal was actually reasonable and makes a lot of sense, but there is really no infiltration square. The bishop cannot do much, only breakthroughs would be f6. f6 probably a thing that he has to try. If I can get the bishop to e4, then I'm just winning. So let's work on that. Let's make that possible. Do I want to get the king to f2? Maybe yes. Yeah, let's get the king to f2. Let's get it there. f6 or g5, only things that black can do, and it has to be right, otherwise it is just lost. There is not much to be done. Yeah, f6, there it is. Am I gonna trade? I think so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take and keep this structure more solid. Now I'm gonna... Okay, how do I do this? I wanna double up. Okay, let's just make moves. As long as I don't blunder, I should not be losing. I can actually go to d3. The queen still cannot infiltrate because of that check. And I can still double up. I just have to keep an eye on h1. So let's double up then. Maybe now queen e4. But still, rook d2. And it defends. And queen would just have to go back, so... It's nothing. This queen e4 move. Then I'll get the rook up. Not really sure where, but I can most likely go there and attack the queen. Okay, and queen goes there. And this is basically resignation. Yes, it is. Rook d7 and rook f8 is checkmate. That is just checkmate. That's a really nice checkmate. Okay, so it was an interesting game indeed, but let me just go back. I'm really not sure if it was a great decision to go for it. Let me just check with an engine real quickly. I'm just interested what it will say. And yeah, in this position, black is slightly better because of this dominant knight, and it was not a right thing to do indeed, according to the engine, but it has worked out mainly because of that blunder. But already, like before the blunder was made, in this position it is equal again. And yeah, after that blunder, it was just a really comfortable play with this amount of material for the queen. So, okay. Nice 2 games in those close to Sicilian structures. Let's see what will most likely the last game of today bring us. My internet crashed. Okay, so am I back? Am I back? Is it fixed or not? So let's reload the page, okay? And hopefully I'm back. Hopefully it does reload. Just small internet crash, but it should be fine. Right back. Okay, so got the black pieces in the last one. And okay, let's stick with pawn to e5. Just maybe write something in the chat if you can hear this, just to make sure that it is fine. Both on Twitch and YouTube would help. We got a Scotch game. So let's just take knight takes and then knight f6. So we can get this variation or the fortnight Scotch. Okay, e5. Here you wanna pin the pawn to the king. After this, you wanna play knight d5, and if pawn to c4, there's bishop a6. h4, interesting line. Interesting line it is. But in these positions, I'm sure I can play d6. Just get rid of that pawn. So if pawn takes, I'll just recapture back. Okay, c4. Attacking the pawn. Well, not the pawn, but the knight. That's what I meant to say. And here, bishop a6. If ed, it is possible, because I could recapture back with the knight. So yeah, let's play that bishop a6 line. Let's play that bishop a6. e5 is there. I mean, yeah, this is quite a position where you feel like you can go wrong. Everything is hanging everywhere. Okay, let me just take on d6. And if queen takes, I'm gonna take with the knight. With the bishop, it would be better. But of course, the knight was hanging at that point. Okay, I want to defend this pawn. I could play king d7, but let me play knight g6. Attack the bishop, defend d6 pawn. And if h5 ever happens, I have nice knight d5. Maybe I can even go for it immediately. Maybe I can play just knight d5 immediately, right? Just to attack that pawn. Knight d2 defense with easily though. Now g6, getting the bishop to that diagonal would be pretty nice, but it is probably better to do with bishop e7, bishop f6. Am I going to cast a short here? Yes, I am. And even though queens are off the board, it will be an interesting game. Bishop is developed there. Okay, prepares g4, I can imagine. It does prepare that move. So, I would like to put the rocks on b file, definitely, but e file is an open line. So a great file as well. And d5 breakthrough would be pretty nice to get, maybe even right now. Knight jumps. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, I can even take advantage of the fact that the pawn is pinned. Didn't even notice. So if the pawn is pinned, then definitely d5 is a nice thing to do. Knight gets attacked again. But I can just capture on c4, can I? Yeah, definitely I can. And we might get an endgame where I could have awkward pawns, but that would be upper pawn. And it would be on the queen side. I have solid pawns on the king side, so that's fine. If b3, maybe, okay, here it is. The knight is actually pinned, sort of, but I can take and then go back, obviously, but I think that bishop there is really nice. Yep, it is. Bishop a3 first. King c2, okay. But I think I can play knight to e3 and win that bishop back. That is, I think I'm gonna play. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll get the bishop. I'm also attacking the rook, but rook will go to e file most likely. So yeah, I'll have to drop back. b5 or a6. Not 100% sure, but let's go to b5. On b5 it is definitely better. It can only be worse in case of some things like a4. But right now it seems like I will be the one who will play a4 first. But okay, knight is coming to e5 and there it might be a bit, you know, annoying there. So do I want to play f6? Yes, I do. It feels fine. It feels to be fine even though g4, g5 things, but it restricts the knight now. I got ideas on my own. Okay, rook comes to e6 in that case. I'm just gonna play rook e8, and if all rooks are traded off, I feel happy. I'm actually even just up a pawn right now. I am, so yeah, it's actually pretty fine to trade pieces, especially rooks, because I got the bishop there, which is an advantage as well. Is there c5 and d4? It might be there. It might be a bit too risky as well. But maybe no. Maybe it is just fine. Honestly, let's play it. What's wrong with pawn to c5? Okay, bishop b2. Now I got a trade, I guess. Even though d4 possible. First. But no, let me just trade. and keep it simple. Let's just keep it more simple and d4 now. The king is controlling these squares really nicely. Okay, the rook comes back. Now, okay, this pawn might be a bit weaker. But it feels like I will just get this and okay, my opponent trades. I'm gonna take there with the bishop or with the king. With the bishop. With the bishop, that seems better to me. Now let's go here, attack g2. I'm up at pawn, so that's nice. Knight will come to c4 if I'm not careful. But I'm gonna prevent it, or am I? No, I think I'm fine with that. And if knight c4, just pawn to a4. And yes, there will be this passed pawn. But it should favor the side with the bishop, if I'm right. Okay, now I'll drop the bishop here. And okay, a4 immediately. That is true. Okay, bishop a6. Controlling this square and all of these squares. This square as well. Can I play c4 to get away with it? Maybe, but I'll start with king d6. Just d3 also, I think. Yeah, these kinds of positions or endgames where both sides have passed pawns, this should favor the side with the bishop. Most of the times. It should. Okay, I'll go to c6 now. I don't know why I thought about it for so long. Don't really know that. Okay, let's play c4 now. And then king b5. And snatch the a pawn, most likely. Knight might get activated though, but I'll just get that pawn. And we'll be up these really nice and strong 2 pawns. Wow, knight goes back over there. Okay, I'm just gonna take. I know that knight will go there. That was most likely a thing that it was about. 96, okay. But I can push the pawn, right? Can I? I think I can. With check, this pawn is defended. Now, can I do anything about that? Most likely not. So let me just go back. Also, I should speed up the pace. Okay, let's go here. I cannot do anything about the king on c3. But I might just go after all the pawns there. After all of the remaining pawns. And okay. I just hope that I'm not gonna have any trouble with the internet again. And hope that it was only once. This upper pawn, but this bishop is a bit awkward there, even though I can definitely maneuver, because if king takes, then this pawn is running. So this king is basically quite stuck defending these 2 pawns. And yeah, I just need to keep the knight in check, or just control it and watch out for the tricks, because it will be tricky yet. Or it will be tricky. to win this. Definitely will. Now as I was saying, I can definitely drop the bishop back and just attack the pawn. And I really think that was really wise to do. Okay, let's just take. And still, if that capture happens, I can just push the pawn. Now it's even protected. Also now getting the king to e3 would be a big goal. But this knight is still annoying. But if the knight is on the dark square, then it is actually now really nicely restricted. It cannot jump to many squares. Only h3 available now. Actually, that's the only square here. That's insane. That is really insane. That it is the only square here. In this position. So in that case, okay, let me go back here. But gotta be careful because there is a knight. Okay, let's go back to f7 and control the knight. And then I would like to go after these pawns. But I'm below 1 minute. That is a thing that quite stresses me. Oh, I cannot go there now. Okay. This is getting quite hot with the clock. Gotta have to be real quick now. King just goes back. Okay, let's play h5, but I lost 10 seconds there. Actually, that's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go here. And drop it back. Okay, this pawn can be captured, but then I'm pushing the c pawn. Then I'm pushing the c pawn. So it should be okay. I gotta have to make one of these two pushes. That is the last obstacle that I have to overcome here. To try to find a way to push these pawns, but with the 20 seconds, that's really crazy. Yeah, I was expecting that. Well, let's just go up. Okay, I gotta have to make moves. Now the pawn might get captured. Okay, I can go up here and go after these pawns. 16 seconds. If this, then this, and that is just awesome. No way to defend the pawn. Let's take. And okay. I got this endgame. Oh god, oh and okay, it is a draw. Should have gone back there, definitely. At this point, it's just a draw. And I don't even know how this works here, so... okay, and there's a stalemate. Okay, I mean, gotta take this. I mean, this day was really nice after yesterday, so 2 wins and 1 draw. I can't take that. Also, this game was just winning. Just unable to convert it in time. I'm curious if this position is winning or not. No, it's not, actually. But this position is winning that for sure. This position is still winning, but only if I play king f2. Yeah, because I had to give up the pawn and then promote, yeah. But really hard to see. Really hard to see with those seconds on the clock. That's, of course, my mistake. I should have played faster as I'm trying to. But still glad I got a draw. Almost glad. But fine, as I was saying, for today I got back over 2200, so yeah, that's fine.